You're listening to the Gymnastics Marketing Podcast, where we firmly believe that marketing your gymnastics club doesn't have to be that difficult. Gymnastics marketing gurus from Creatively Disruptive will teach you everything you need to know about marketing your gymnastics club. It's time to learn from the experts. If you're ready to dig in and take your gymnastics club to the next level, you're in the right place. Here are your hosts from Creatively Disruptive and gymnastics gym marketing experts.
Welcome back to the Gymnastics Marketing Podcast. Today we have a special guest, Russell Masters, on the call today. So Russell is the co-founder of Creatively Disruptive and a marketing guru as well. So we're super excited for him to be on the call today. He's going to give you a really great overview of his role at Creatively Disruptive, his background in marketing, and some really, really amazing tips that you don't want to miss. So make sure that you stay around for the whole episode. So welcome, Russell.
Thanks, Taylor.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, excellent. It's a nice early 6:30 a.m. in New Zealand. I'm one of the lucky ones that get to live and work in New Zealand.
Amazing. And on a Saturday.
Absolutely. That's
You must like what you do.
Love it. Love it. I don't work a single day in my life.
I love it. That's the attitude. And I'm sure all of our gym owners feel the same.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Cool. So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about you and how you got started in the world of marketing for gymnastics gyms? It's because it's kind of crazy. Like, how did you start specializing in this area? And like, tell us your story.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's as a company owner, like ending up being marketing specialists for gymnastics clubs is it's not your everyday, I guess, industry that you start off thinking that you're going to get into. But I actually cut my teeth in hospitality many years ago. When I left school, I trained up as a classic chef, worked as a chef for many years, and I started my, I guess, journey into marketing because in the later years of working as a chef, I started getting some opportunities with some restaurants that were just underperforming, yet had a lot of really good opportunities, and just found out that it just seemed logical as to what they were doing, and it just didn't seem to be the right thing to do. Like, for example, selling filet mignons and flash coffees in a farming area in the late 90s, it just didn't make sense. So so for a number of years, I started managing restaurants, typically from as the exec chef, and then working with the owners to, make those restaurants perform better from a revenue perspective, simply by trying to align that restaurant with its location. So that was how I got into marketing, I guess. My marketing speciality is slightly different to my co-founder and my cousin, Andy Seeley, he's more of our visionary. I'm more of the integrator. I'm nicknamed the Wizard of Ops.
I like that.
Yeah, I like it too, but I don't like Andy's idea, excuse me, of dressing me up like Gandalf the Wizard. But maybe one day you'll see that. So, I mean, go from hospitality to a few years ago, pretty much I freelanced for a good 15-20 years. I coined my own nickname, which was the idea designer. Give me any idea, give me any problem, I'll design it, I'll find a solution for it. And that's what I do really well. I started a few companies during that time, still running today. And Andy, as I said, is my cousin. He's a cousin of my wife, so that's how this family business started. We were doing a few things together and some other joint ventures, and I was in San Diego one day, and I just said to him, "Hey, why don't we actually start a business together?" We were both doing things that we were getting a little frustrated with, and so Creative Disruption was born, and that's what we started off with. We changed to Creatively Disruptive a little bit later on. I was a great website developer, still consider myself a pretty good website developer, and that we did a lot of websites, and we were doing quite a few websites for gymnastics as well. We started getting back into marketing, which is where Andy and my strengths were. Started doing a lot of e-com and lead generation and so on and so forth, and just doing a whole bunch of things, trying to really find out where creatively disruptive fit in the marketing world. And we had, interestingly enough, sent out a handwritten letter in an actual physical envelope with a stamp on it, put in the post and send it out. We'd send out tons of these things. And this was really before Facebook advertising was even really a thing. One of those people that responded was actually a gymnastics club in Chicago, who's still a very good client and good friends of ours today. And we built a website for them, and we started doing some more stuff. Later on, go forward another year, Tiffany, who's Andy's wife, is a gymnastics coach, still practicing, said, hey, the gymnastics clubs really struggle to grow their business because they're typically, often they're not business people. They're great coaches. They want to have a great gymnastics club, but they really struggle with some of the acquisition of new customers. What can we do to help them out? So that's where we are today. We made a conscious decision to, if you've read some of the personal development books, basically burn all bridges. No turning back. We rebranded ourselves as Creatively Disruptive, the gymnastics marketing experts, and it's been a pretty wild ride since then. And we've got a great group. We've got an academy that's building up. We do a ton of stuff just to help gymnastics club owners learn about marketing. And for those who are too busy or just want to go to that next level, we help over 60 odd gyms as well with their marketing. So that's who I am and my story and how I kind of got here on this podcast today with Taylor, our amazing community manager.
That's such a cool story. And it's cool that you kind of started from a time in marketing where things were totally different, and then you've seen it evolve. And then now you're specializing in an industry that really needs help with marketing and really needs experts. And so it's pretty cool that you're able to do that.
Yeah. It's, just the way that you can market today versus the way that you can market 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I know Andy said that if this kind of market, if Facebook and Google and all this digital marketing was available when he had him and Tiffany had their gym in Tahoe, it would have been a completely different story. They would have had so much more control over the growth. And I think that's a really, really key takeaway to understand that today's marketing allows business owners to actually have control over their growth. Mm-hmm. When I started off, I started my business with $25 in an ad in a newspaper. Russell Masters, technical guy, will do anything. Contact me 24 hours, 7 days a week. I bought 50 business cards for another $10 and printed off some flyers on my computer. And that was the only option back then.
Mm-hmm. And now it's pretty cool. So from a high level perspective, with all of the thousands of gyms that you work with on a daily basis, and that your team helps to grow, what would you say one of the main things that you see gyms doing that is kind of not allowing them to grow? Like, what are they doing that's kind of hindering their growth?
Yeah. Look, really just not allowing them not giving themselves enough exposure in the right way. Mm. We see a lot of them that are doing some marketing, doing different things and trying different things. Now, these different things, which are more of a traditional approach to marketing, magazines, flyers, print, so on and so forth, are not necessarily a bad thing, but as the primary driver of your gym growth, not the right thing anymore. I personally believe, because you just don't get enough exposure in what I call the right way. Mm-hmm. If you think about, take all of the mums in your local area and profile them and grade it from the most to the least, and try and find that common denominator of where's the most common place that you'll be able to market to them. I'm going to say it, right? It's Facebook and Instagram, because they'll all be on their Facebook page and their Instagram page on their phones. Some of them read this magazine. Someone will go to this place. Someone will see this newspaper. Some will see the flyer in their newspaper. but the common denominator is they'll pretty much all be social. So just getting more exposure in the right way, because then if you do a little equation, right, Facebook and Instagram or social media plus traditional brand advertising equals own that space. So that when mums think about gymnastics, ninja, tumbling, chair, whatever your gym specializes in, they think only of you. So you don't want to be the number one, you want to be the only one. And so digital advertising on its own is not enough. It's about utilizing the marketing methods that are available today in the correct way.
Right.
You really want to get that exposure, be in front of people all the time, then, use the digital methods that are available, and then use the more traditional methods as marketing budgets and success allows to be more brand advertising, so that you are, just getting that exposure. So when people do see you on Facebook, I remember I saw that flyer on my car, or that ad in the newspaper, or if they see you in the newspaper or magazine offer or something like that, they go, oh, I remember seeing them in Facebook or on an Instagram page.
Mm-hmm. So with the digital side, so I understand that there's, traditional marketing like flyers and billboards and TV commercials, but in terms of the digital side, can you kind of walk us through what that looks like for gyms? And I know you have proven methods of generating leads for gymnastics gyms, but can you give us on a technical level what that looks like to generate new students for a gym?
Yeah. And the answer on a technical level is going to be a little bit surprising, because I'm not even going to talk really technical. However, so I'm going to break it down into who, why, what, and how. And then you have a platform like Facebook to be able to deliver that. Now, what are those 4 things? So who is your target market? So within Facebook, you create a campaign, you decide on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to send people to a website? Are you trying to get people to fill out an inquiry form? Are you trying to get people to connect with you via Messenger? Are you trying to get people to engage with you by commenting, liking, sharing a post on Facebook or Insta? Right. So there's a few objectives. You decide what your campaign is, and you start building up this campaign. And one of the first considerations is who. Who are you going to market to? Who are you advertising to? Because when you put an advert in a magazine, you are advertising to everybody that receives that magazine. Mums, dads, kids, nanas, aunties, single mums, single people, unmarried people, people without children, right? It's just a shotgun approach. So you decide who. Once you've got your who, that's the next part of building up your Facebook ad campaign, or your Instagram ad campaign, or any ad campaign. And you set up your audience. And part of that who is where, right? So you have a gym here, so how far from your gym people are likely to travel, or what zip codes people are likely to live in, or what little pockets of areas people are likely to live in. So you get that who, and that's the most important part, because you can have a great everything else, but if you're not marketing to the right people, then you're not going to get the success you want. So the second thing is once you've built up the audience, you know who you're going to, you know what you're going to do with the campaign. You're going to generate some inquiries, you know who you're going to market to. Then the next thing, and this is the real golden part, and a lot of people put some sort of ad together. Hey, come into our gym. We have this many square feet, and it's air conditioned, and we're amazing, and we have great coaches. I don't want to hear that. Mm-hmm. First thing you want to start off with is why, right? Why you? Why do you do what you do? Why would parents want to bring their kids in? Why would kids love being at your gym? Because all a mum really wants, and all a dad really wants. I'm a dad. I got 5 girls. I'm a real dad. I've got lots of dad experience. All parents want is for their kids to grow, develop, have fun, learn, experience, gain confidence, etc., in a safe and controlled environment, done in a safe way. That's what we want. I don't care whether they do that through gymnastics or something. We just want them to do that. So you know why your gym is great. You know why gymnastics is great as a sport for kids, as a foundation sport for kids going on to other sports, as a way to make lifelong friends, as a way to build confidence. Talk about that. Right? Then there's the what. So if you talk about the why, this is when building out your ad, and your imagery should match this as well. So if part of your why is like, hey, your kids are going to love coming down here and making lifelong friends while they gain confidence and learn new skills, that will be with them forever and can be a great foundation for sport, or might be the sport they just take off on an Olympic journey, then the pictures would be, smiling, happy kids having fun, doing gymnastics, doing tumbling, doing kips, doing bars, just experiencing the gymnastics industry. How do they get that? Well, what is and this is the what part, right? So what allows them to do that? Well, it's gymnastics. So your kids will love having fun, making new friends, such and such, with gymnastics at such and such. How are they going to have fun and make new friends and gain confidence with this vehicle called gymnastics? You're going to come down and try us out. And that's the ad. So who, why, what, how. If you really think about that process, and then because the actual technical things, go onto our Facebook group, jump into our academy, ask us, watch all of our lives, and you'll see how the technical aspect of putting those things together, what campaign objective, who you're going to market it to, talking about your why, explaining the what, and then telling them how they're going to actually do it to then get them into the gym. That's a whole other process. Once they get in there or they talk to you, then you'll have a really good campaign, and a really good way of getting people to come and register to be new students.
So you said that you recommend using social media like Facebook advertising to generate these types of ads, right?
Yeah, because that's the who, right? If you look at the who and what platforms can you use to actually really be super targeted in who you're going to target. The only one I know of is the Facebook platform that also contains Instagram and Facebook Messenger, because you can, even Google AdWords, you can't do the who, you can only do the where, really. You can say people in this area, but you can't do the who. Facebook is the only platform that allows you to really say, hey, I want mums that, have kids between the ages of such and such, and people are interested in this, and they live in this area, and maybe they're this age, and so on and so forth. It's the only platform that you can get that granular on.
Cool. And so where can people learn the specifics behind Facebook marketing? Like you were just talking about, like, okay, this strategy looks great, but how can they learn how to execute this themselves or have your team execute it? Where can they learn about that?
So there's a ton of places, but the problem with there being a ton of places, you can Google Facebook ad strategy and go down a rabbit hole, but the problem with that is that you will often get led down a rabbit hole and trying to constantly look at what other people are doing within other industries, and then trying to relate that to gymnastics. And let's face it, and I know this for a fact, that gymnastics is a slightly different beast. So we have, I would say there's one thing that you can do, and that is just allow us to help you. And when I say allow us to help you, it doesn't mean that you have to come and be a client, because we have some great, platforms and trainings that are available for owners of gymnastics clubs. The first thing you should ever do, if you're not already a member of our free Facebook marketing group it's called the Gymnastics Marketing Group. Just go into Facebook, search the Gymnastics Marketing Group. You'll see us, very recognizable logo. We've got over 1,500 people in there, all gym owners and pros. You'll be asked a couple of questions so that we can actually validate that you are a gym owner or a gym pro, because we're really, really protective about who actually becomes part of that. And in there, we do Facebook Lives, we do tips, I get knowledge directly from Facebook and from my other colleagues who are, do this day in, day out. You get up-to-date information. We have our web team post stuff in there, our campaign managers post stuff in there, our data analysts post stuff in there. That is the place to go to get the information. Now the information there's a ton of information there, lives and videos and trainings and weekly tips and so on and so forth. Then we have the Academy, which we just recently put together. And that is a slightly more structured and organized, set of different courses on how to do things. And then if you want to take it to the next level, or you're just really super busy, which I know gymnastics owners are because we wear so many different hats, and you can talk to our team and we can literally just do it for you. So those are the three resources, but it all revolves down one thing. If you want help, just ask us, because we don't care how that help comes out, whether we spend some time with you and teach you, whether we put you into a course so you can learn, whether we do it for you, it doesn't matter. We just want to help grow the gymnastics industry as a sport.
Cool. So lots of options to learn and to implement. Awesome. So we'll leave it with this, Russell. If you ran into a gym owner this weekend at a coffee shop and they wanted to know from you, the marketing expert, what's the top thing that I need to do to grow my student enrollment for the next, few months, what would you tell them?
Start advertising on Facebook. Start advertising on Facebook, using Facebook and Instagram to mums in your local area. And importantly, make it really easy to contact you. That's what you're going to be able to do. You're going to get in front of mums. You want to make it easy for them to contact you and come and try your gym out. So let's throw a little bonus tip in there, right? If you make it easy for them to try you out, then you're more likely going to get people engaging with you. So whether it's giving them a free trial, whether it's giving them a special price trial, whether it's giving them a guarantee, the ability to simply pay for one class only, whatever it is, make it easy for a mum to bring her kids down and try you out. I was in Arizona recently with Tiffany, and we took River, who's Andy and Tiffany's little boy, down to a new gym. Just have a look at their open gym for toddlers. So Tiffany heard about it. She wanted to check it out. And it was a really super easy process, right? We arrived, signed a little waiver, paid $5, had a class. Done, right? Now, if she likes that place, then she can sign up and she can, through the registration portal and do all of the things and, set up auto payments and things like that. But the key takeaway here was that, make it really easy for people to come in and try you out. And so, my tip is advertise on Facebook, because you can be super granular and you can actually put yourself in front of mums every single day, and then make it easy for mums to come in and try you out.
I love it. That's a great tip. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Russell. This was super helpful, and I think all the gymnastics owners will agree. So join the free Facebook group and tag Russell in the group with any questions, or let him know that you listen to this podcast, and we will see you guys in the group.
Excellent. Thanks, Taylor. Good luck, everybody.
Bye-bye.